I hear people talking about rights and freedoms, and I can do what I want to do with my own body. But can you really do what you want to do with your own body? And even should you do anything you want to do with your own body just because it's yours? Do you have a right to dress any way that you want to when you live amongst other people in your society, in the public? Can you dress scantily clad? Or can you just simply walk down the street anytime you desire in the nude? There should be, and always should be, some form of regulation to what people do in society. I mean, if we didn't have some form of governance, if you will, and some form of self-control, we would end up out of control. So what are you really saying, brother teacher? I'm saying this. This is the subject. Ladies, is there a point that you won't go beyond when it comes to wearing clothing? Or is it fair game and anything goes? You can wear whatever the heck you want to wear. In this particular instance, I'm talking about women showing their cleavage, their breast, in other words. So, do you believe if you have large breast, medium breast, or even small breast, that the world has to see them? Or is it okay to be very, very modest and have a top closed, or maybe slightly open, maybe a little crease at the beginning of your breast at the top? Or do you believe that your breast should be exposed this far, ladies? Or maybe even this far, almost to the point where your nipples are exposed? What say you, daughters, mothers, grandmothers, aunts, children? How much of your breast should you expose to the world? Or is there something wrong with exposing your breast to the world? And men, would you allow your wife, your spouse, your daughter to have her breast exposed in public by the clothing that she wears? Very revealing clothing? What's the limit? We are curious to know if you have a limitation on your spouse. I'm taking my time saying this. This is a very sensitive subject with some, because there are some that believe that they should have no restrictions or limitations on how they dress in public amongst their fellow man. And there are others that are very conservative that try not to expose any part of their nudity. But what do you believe? That's the consensus that I'm trying to arrive at. What do most women believe as far as how they should dress in public? Now, even though I just said dress, more specifically, a moment ago I said your cleavage. But you can weigh in on pants, skirts, shorts as well. But make sure that you answer the question about the cleavage. Should you show a lot of your breast, your mammary glands, in other words, when you're out in public? And if you do that, are you doing it for style, to attract someone, to feel feminine when you already are? What's your reason for doing that? I'm not judging, because I have no place to put you, no heaven or hell to put you. I'm asking a question. How do you feel that you should dress when you are amongst people in the public, the general public? Should you wear clothing that's very, very revealing, as I said before, or should you be very, very modest? It would seem to me that over the past 20 years, 25 years, that many women have no discretion at all. Many women have simply gone crazy as it relates to how they dress. It's one thing to wear certain things when you're within the confinement of your own home, the four walls as it were. But it's an entirely different thing once you leave outside of your home, in the public's eye or view. Are you attracting the wrong attention? Are you trying to make a certain statement by the way that you dress? So again, before I depart, I'm asking you ladies, is it okay to show your breast when you're in the public? Or should you close it up? And guys, is it okay for your daughters that have breasts to expose them in public? Would you tolerate that? And if that's the case, it's okay for you to let your daughter dress that way, then apparently it's okay for your wife or your spouse to dress that way, in a revealing manner, I should say. So which one is it, guys? Is it the more the merrier? If it's not your wife and you can watch somebody else dress like that, revealing that is, but you won't allow your wife to do it or your spouse to do it. You can't have it both ways. So if you have a standard, I believe your standard should be the same across the board. What's my take? I'm glad you asked. Never, ever would I want my wife nor my daughters to wear revealing clothes to the point where you leave nothing to anyone's imagination, and that they would have to still turn and look at you and say, wow, that's what you got. No one needs to know that. That's my take. Even my own mother, I wouldn't accept that. My aunts, my cousins that are female, not at all. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm dictating what people do, because people are going to make their own decisions anyway, regardless of what I say and whatever anyone else says. So, what do you say? Is it okay to dress to the point where you look like you are almost naked? Or should you cover it up? That's it, and that's all. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen?